Good morning, it's Captain Tinsley, SaltyAbandon with an update. So if you saw my video yesterday and my post from last night or yesterday afternoon, you saw that Billy from Orange Beach, Alabama came, and he was here till about, I guess, 7 o'clock last night, just fixing stuff. So I wanted to give an update. I made some notes so I wouldn't ramble on. So the first thing, yesterday I talked about the oil leak. So what I have is a rear main leak, which is going to require pulling out the transmission. So it's a little bit bigger job than just coming here and doing it here in Marathon. So I will probably wait till I get home to do that. And in the meantime, he showed me that the oil that was in the bottom of the engine room wasn't quite as much as I thought. He stuck his screwdriver down there, and it was probably, you know, like I guess that's 1/4 of an inch. So he calculated about, I told him, you know, from where I went to distances and everything and what it looked like on the stick, and so we calculated how much oil I was losing. And so we bought some diapers, and I'll just keep up with the diapers and keep up with the oil and make sure, you know, I'm not being an environmental hazard or anything, because it's staying within the engine room. But I'll just keep up with that, and we bought some extra gallons of oil, and I'm just going to keep up with it. It's just the way it is until I get home. Nothing's being ruined as long as I keep that oil in there. So that's it for that. So we'll have to deal with that when I get home. So the alternator is fine. I mean, he checked it all out, everything was fine. But after checking a whole bunch of things, he decided that I needed, he thought I already had one, a battery charger. So for the lithionics batteries, for the lithium batteries. So I have a battery charger that is with the engine battery, and it's supposed to assist, I guess, in charging the lithium batteries. I have all this Victron technology and everything, but so he suggested that, and they just happened to have one that we needed, a 60 amp. It was we got, okay, I'm trying to, what did we get? ProNautics 1260 12 volt 60 amp battery charger. And Key West John said, hey, that's the one I have, it works great. So while he was installing that, I played the video that I took of Andre in 2020, December 2020, when Andre installed all this good fancy stuff. And in the video, and when I took that video, I mean, it was a lot to absorb. So I picked up things here and there, and I'd go watch it again, and you know, I didn't absorb it all. So, but he says in the video, if you upgrade your alternator, which I did, we need to make some changes. So I never did that because Andre's in St. Pete and I'm in Orange Beach, Alabama. So on my way back, I'll probably go and stop and come get them to look at it. But Billy said this will do the same thing by adding the battery charger. It may be even more. It might do more. So I have a very surface understanding about all this. All I want to know is I'm gonna not be losing so much power. I want the inverter to be charging my batteries. So apparently the inverter was not. Anyway, so what else we got here? So now we have that battery charger, and he did some tests and everything. And oh, we set up my generator. I have a Honda 2200 that I bought right after the hurricane, September 2020, because the power was out in my marina for a year. I never set it up. I never put oil in it or put gas in it. Wasn't sure how to use it. I always like to have someone show me how to use it, and then I can memorize it. So we set it up, and I'm about to show it to you, but exciting. We put it out on the dock and unplugged from shore power, and plugged the boat into it with this, and turned on the air conditioner, and we made an adjustment to the inverter, and it worked. So when I'm somewhere and I just gotta have the AC on, and I'm not a wimp, I can go without, especially at anchor, but sometimes, you know, it's nice. But let me show you my generator. So here is my Honda 2200 EU 2200. So it's got these types of plugs. It's even got Bluetooth. I haven't set that up yet, but it's got all kinds of stuff, reset buttons and whatnot. He went through it with me, and I've had this on board for a long time, ready to use it. So you plug the 30 amp shore cord in that, and you plug this into the generator. And I made adjustments to this right here. So this is my Victron energy multi-control for my inverter. So we set this to 15, and he listened to it, and it was he could hear the generator kind of revving up with the AC on. So I think the advice was to leave it on 15, but then after everything gets going with the AC and everything, turn it down to 11. And the inverter didn't make as much noise out there. It was operating more efficiently. It's got a button where you can put it on eco. So this would be like, it might be like louder, and then you can put it on that, and it goes a little quieter, operates a little more efficiently. I think he said that, and Billy's gonna watch this so he can comment. I think he said with the AC on, I could just leave it there, but I'm not entirely sure. I was absorbing a lot of information. Let's see what else we got here. Here's my notes. Okay, this is my bilge, and this is my raw water filter for the engine. And I noticed when I checked it the other day, I had to use pliers to open it, that this starboard was separating from the wall here, and there were screws and they were just coming loose. So I had this on board for when I fixed another piece of starboard in the companionway, and this actually works on starboard. I have to order some more because he used it all. He used the rest of it. So now it is completely glued on the other side, and it's not going to move. So again, this is starboard. It's hard to glue that, and you got to have something really good. And boom! I actually used this to poorly put my cockpit table back together. It needs some more work. I need a professional, or John, like he's going to put some screws in there. But this thing, that stuff works. I mean, it comes out in these. It comes out in two, and you put it on a little plate, and you mix the stuff together, the two components, and then you just glue it. So let me show you the companionway. So this is my companionway, and this is starboard, and these pieces had come loose, and I glued them back in and never even put a screw in there, but it's solid. It was a year or so ago, and yesterday I glued this piece down because it had come loose. So, you know, coming in and out, you grab it and it comes loose. This piece I glued back into, that was a year or so ago. It's not moving. And there's my cockpit table. The inside particle board had gotten wet and screws were not staying in it. So I dried it out, and then I used some, I didn't have like a drill with me or anything, so I did some gluing. I glued the screws in, I glued some other stuff down, and temporarily, hey, it works. Another thing I asked Billy to fix is my night light. So I have this little switch here, so when you come in the companionway, the switch is, and it turns on 3 lights. It turns one down here, over here over the panel, and one right here. And they weren't, nothing was coming on. Like it worked when I first got the boat. So he checked the switch was fine. All the bulbs were out, and one fuse somewhere. I had the fuse on board, thankfully. We did go by the bulbs, LED, by the way. We upgraded to LED, so they're very, very efficient. That's what we're looking for being on anchor. Now all these lights in at night, it's great. I don't have to leave any other lights on. It's very well lit. So I'm excited about that. Let's see what else we got. Okay, now we're gonna go out in the cockpit and I gotta bring my coffee. So, I noticed that when, well, I can't remember where I was. I noticed that my anchor toggle switch at the helm was not working, and my foot pedals for the windlass were not working. And this is for the windlass. So John did a bunch of tests and everything. He was down there for a while, checking this, checking the control box. Everything was checking out. We were talking to Billy in Orange Beach, and John narrowed it down to the switches aren't working. It's like, wow, all 3 switches go out at the same time. That's amazing. So we pulled this off. We got this off and noticed it was complete. No, actually, he just pulled it off first. It was completely unplugged. That'll make it not work. So when they fixed the throttle cable, if you're watching my videos, I got throttles, new cables for the throttle a couple months ago, almost 2 months ago. So when they pulled this off, these wires were so short, it just unplugged it, and who knew, you know? And so it took 2 of us to pull the wires up to here, to put this back on, pull the wires up to here, and for him to reconnect. So John is already got the stuff to extend these wires inside, all the stuff. So when I get to Key West and we both have time, he's gonna take care of that for me. But right now, it's working. Hooray. So as amazing as it is, still got some work dust here. Both of these went out at the same time. Yep. So these are brand new. I ordered them while I was in Everglades City, and had them delivered here, and they got here like the next day. So these are brand new. I got the same ones, so all he had to do was unscrew the old ones, pull them out, connect them to the wires, and screw them back in, screw them in. So, and they're working. Look at that. Oh, a little tight there. There. How do you like that? So, okay. While I'm up here, somebody asked me, and I went and looked for the name. I couldn't find it because I don't know if it was on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. But somebody asked me about my transportation. So here it is. So I bought this bike in Key West a few years ago at, shout out, Eaton Bikes. So I used to go in there and rent bikes. So I saw this one. I was like, it was $400. I was like, as much money as I spend on rental bikes, I need to get a bike. So this folds up in a real small thing. So it folds in half here. So this comes over here. This goes down. This whole thing goes down, and you can put that seat down, and it folds up into a little thing. It's really easy, and this is how I get around. There was a little plastic piece here that holds this in place, and it broke off, and I found this on the boat, and I just did a little fix there and just put this on there. So I have to loosen this, which is what I had to do before, but it was a plastic piece. That's the only thing I have to loosen or tighten when I'm opening up the bike or closing it up. I got some new tires in Marco. I wasn't sure where, I didn't want to get somewhere where they didn't have these in stock, and then I wouldn't have transportation. This is the bike I broke my ankle on too, but I'm back at it. I have a little basket here, and so I can do a lot with this bike. I can go to the beach, I can go to the grocery store, but I do have Publix deliver most of the time. But I can go and do different things. So Keys Rigging called yesterday to confirm that they were getting these little rods that go inside here, so it'll be a good connection and everything Monday. So he'll come up here whenever that comes in. I'm here till Wednesday, so that works. I took his advice and unrolled this front sail here at the dock, and then rolled it back up, and it rolled up just fine. He gave me a little lesson in humility. Not good seamanship, he said, when I told him I had rolled it back up in the wind and using the winch. But somebody had commented, do what you got to do, so I appreciate that. Thank you. So that's all I got. Hannah, I just wanted to say, none of these are complaints. I think I kind of quit posting issues because someone said, I think it might have been one person, they said, you seem to complain a lot. Because really I just wanted to talk about issues because people seem to find it interesting. I know I do, when solving problems and stuff. So this is not complaining, but also y'all seem to like the longer content, so I wanted to, you know, just kind of include everything because people seem to like it. And I also get good suggestions from you too. And Billy made me feel better because he said Tinsley, it's rare that when boaters go on long trips like that there's not problems. So he gets calls from clients from all over. So there's always going to be issues on a boat. And Key West John has a saying, whenever he bumps his head, or, you know, when you look down and you're bleeding or something breaks on a boat, he always says, it's all part of the experience. So I remember that and say it to myself, it's a good mental exercise. It's all part of the experience. It is, even all the sweating and the bugs and everything and the repairs, it's all part of the experience. So that's it for now. Appreciate it when y'all comment, and please like and subscribe. Thank you. SaltyAbandon out.